Shady Part of Me sends you on an emotional and dreamlike journey, with breathtaking artistic direction and the enthralling voice of Hannah Murray of Game of Thrones and Skins. There once was a girl who was trapped in dark, with naught but her shadow for company. A journey to escape she did embark, and her shadow followed distrustfully. There is more you can find on the game's official website, but very personally, Shady Part of Me says a lot more than the surface-level dreams versus reality with a girl in her shadow, or an inverted projection as the website also states. I was intrigued when the game was presented during the 2020 Game Awards, and bought it to enjoy a cool puzzle platformer including clever and thoughtful uses of light and shadow. What I did not buy it for, and struggle to deal with still, is presenting very real issues present in anxiety, childhood, and independence. I became rattled with what the game presented to me, and I don't think it was intentional some of the time, but like I said, I'm struggling with things that showed up here, and where my brain went. And I don't want to go on stress leave again. So let's go on a journey. I'll talk. It'll get uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm sick of being in my own head. I whistle this theme a lot. I've been trying to get back to where I was before, similar to the first sentences that appear in the prologue, and I've been out of it for a long time, months, and while it might be fear that pushed me forward all the time, I was pushed forward because time waits for no one, and you're going to be in a certain place at a certain time regardless of whether or not you are ready to be there. It is why the scenery of an institution or care center speaks to me as a place where you might stop. Find a location where you can find your momentum again and re-enter into regular society. But it's not that easy. Everyone's different and reacts differently too. If you stop, you might regress, go backwards to simpler times, simpler phrases, and see things differently with a less complicated and understood view of different things. Certain words may return that reflect an earlier time in your life. Personifying books based on whether or not they have pictures. And realizing that you are alone, or feel you are alone, enough to converse with inanimate objects. I'm still coming to grips with the future and what is expected of the current generation to carry society forward, and it's really destructive. As much as triple the expectations, arguably more is shouldered on children. You must be able to do these by the age of 8, balance 6 different extracurriculars in your teens. The quote, "What's your side hustle?" and beginning investing at the age of 13 with your parents' help. The pressure I see crushes even me.
How innocent. Naive. Limited. Stubborn. And very, 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 very alone.
So when I see a girl and her shadow looking for an exit, that can mean so many things. But I cannot think that it is as straightforward as physically exiting a building. It's more mental, related to freedom, but not really. Maybe more release. Being able to breathe, being stifled and short of air. And it is not the first time. Reliability is tricky. It can lead to dependence on one thing and avoidance of another. Books telling prettier stories leads to not seeking stories from other sources. Could you rely on yourself? What version of yourself? That version can't do everything, can it? Revisiting the past can be difficult. You won't remember everything clearly. You might think of things differently. Nostalgia and comfort may be gone. And even if it's not changed, why might that be unsettling? Because of what you know now? Because you cannot lie to yourself now? You know you can't go back. You must go forward. This isn't helping. But it's good to know that when something built is torn down, it can be built again. And again. And what you build again will be a little bit different. Maybe improvise. But I don't know how to yet. At least I don't have the confidence to yet.
Do you know
How
where
far
the
can
exit is?
dependence go?
I think I do. The exit should be around here. Just around that corner. I'm pretty sure the exit is this way.
Hey, say, am I a friend as well?
Of course.
You're my best friend. I find the definition of friends to be a messy concept to me, especially recently. Some people use it so flippantly and without care, like everyone is a friend. And I feel anxious about that. How are we friends when you know nothing about me? How can we be considered friends when I might never communicate with you again? What is a friend anymore? Someone who cares for you? Looks out for you? Listens to your problems? How involved should a friend be? Should a friend stand in the way and protect you and provide for you during a traumatic upheaval in your own personal life? Why do I find the concept of friends so uncomfortable?
Wait! Come on, get down! I need this, please. Come on!
Is it because when someone, or even me, mentions something that involves, quote, me and my friends, there's a sliver of doubt about whether or not those friends exist?
I'm sorry there's less to see here. It's better with my friends.
Are your friends gone?
Just for a bit. They don't like it here.
Friends?
Are you...
Are there times when we will mentally defend ourselves from the
I don't
truth?
want to talk about it.
Should a friend be that person who constantly does us harm? Or is a negative influence in our personal and professional integrity because they are the only person around?
There's less to see here.
It's better with my friends. I miss my friends. Friends?
Friends?
What friends? Are you
going
gonna stay silent? Sometimes that is all we can do. We can't form the words to express ourselves or communicate our thoughts. It is a clog in our thoughts made up of feelings and words and actions that make us stuck. But we keep moving forward. The moment passes and you can think that it's not a big deal. I look inside this feeling so slowly, so carefully. It refuses to be explained and refuses to go away. My failure. I'm doing my best.
No, it's fine.
If I was doing my best, I wouldn't fail, right? Why do we stay here? If we could just leave. Would we know release if it were that simple? But doubt sinks in. Can we even leave? And in a way, we doubt those we are dependent on, as it feels like we circle the drain without ever going through it.
You have no idea where you're going, do you?
So we explore where our hang-ups might come from.
Who's watching?
Past experiences, why we might feel the way we do.
What do you mean?
What do we look like to others? How do we see others? Do we want to be liked by others?
Don't worry.
Do we have problems when we are not liked by others? Do we have to put on a face to others in order to function and are tired of doing that? Like we are lying to everything. We don't have to do that for best friends.
You shouldn't fear them.
It's not like I want to.
I can feel time slipping away, continuing on as I dwell here. I see the weakness so acutely, so sadly. It condemns the past and praises the future. My evolution. So forget everyone else. Think about yourself and what you need to do. External and internal factors. Are they harmonizing or at odds? When trouble arises, we fight or flee. If we flee, we retreat inside, to our inner warmth, our fire, and through that fire, we bring ourselves out again.
I don't feel comfortable here.
Why?
Don't you feel it? That feeling inside of you.
The fire often falters. You should not.
Why would the fire go out? But fire can go out. And there is only so much you can do for yourself until you need to reach for others.
Are you alright?
There can be an imbalance realized through introspection between what you thought you knew, what you were so sure of, and what you hesitantly need to consider.
You are so sure of yourself, aren't you?
And sometimes you don't know what you need until the time comes or someone else is telling you about it.
Come on.
I'm relearning strength now, and what it means to be strong. And strength comes from knowing when to ask for help. But we don't know that right away.
Don't move. I'll fix this.
It's painful to state how fragile we can be, even to ourselves, and how slippery this thought can lead down a negative path of dark thoughts.
And you are the one who should keep up.
It messes with confidence and can lead to collapse. In a professional workplace, how often are you asked, "How are you?" And you respond
You
with,
won't have to.
"Okay," or
I will
"Fine."
not let it get to me again.
Probably a lot, because you don't want to get into it, and honestly, the people on the other side asking might not want to get into it either. A rough part of professionalism sometimes is always putting up a strong version of yourself, like a mask,
Don't you need a
because you
night
need
light
to,
guide you in your
for
journey?
yourself and others who may rely or count on you to be there. The longer you do this, though, the more the mask can crack until it breaks under stress of keeping up a lie around yourself. So we try harder. For ourselves. But is it that easy?
You should go
It's
straight.
almost like we figured out our own problems and now we don't need help from anybody
She
else.
just helped me.
That's gotta be a confidence booster.
I won't.
Well, no. Confidence can backfire in where we perceive help to truly come from.
You were more helpful
Actions speak louder than words, and if you help physically, it makes verbal help by talking things out seem pointless. What have
Try
I,
to take your
or you, been doing all this time? when I just receive something that I find so much more meaningful. Confidence can turn to cockiness and even frustration towards those we thought were helpful, jumping to conclusions, rejecting paths that are currently being traveled. I might not like someone. There are a lot of people I don't like, and still don't like.
No, I haven't.
But there are things I remember about them, or some methods they
You should try
used,
harder for
that I can
yourself.
respect. However, that is with the benefit of hindsight, and time is very cruel.
The heat is nice. It's inside, so it's nice. You want so much and you never ask nicely. It's just order after order.
I'm not much of a fan of the word nice, but that is a reality of the limitations of language. Nice is too vague,
Maybe they just
and does
want
not
to get
inspire a
better.
change in action.
Maybe
I
they
sometimes
just
see
try.
the word nice like a blob of slime, just sitting there, taking up space until it can transform into a powerful synonym with purpose.
They speak as if
Doubts
everything you
appear,
say is true.
questioning those in other positions as if ready to knock down something bigger than themselves. Sometimes I feel I should
think
just... This hits. Hard. And terribly. You can end this thought however you like, but it can go deep. So deep you might not be able to get out. So much
Some
pushback.
calm.
You cannot do this on your own. You need all the help you can get.
But
What if
I don't want
don't
it?
want it?
until 4 words can be said, 4 very difficult words, I need some help. We're better off without you. Are you now?
You know, I've never gone this far before. Maybe they were kind of right.
I know.
I guess I don't really know this place. It was bad to pretend I did.
We're lost, and you might have driven away our only help.
They were mean.
It was probably my fault everything broke in the first place. And now it's your fault that we're lost.
Offering help to someone who won't take it is hard to witness, child or adult. An adult, it can be heartbreaking knowing the circumstances and stakes.
They were mean.
But a child, frustration comes forward.
And it's my
The
fault.
firm rejection because of simple reasons like mean versus nice. But there is also the addition of taking responsibility. Children are children. You can do no wrong when you're a child. The blame is on someone else. The self-reflection is not there. And the cycle of knowing the amount of expectations that children have mixed with the rejection to try harder
Side.
hurts.
You have to understand. They were our guides, and you drove them away.
So what?
So what? Brush it all aside. It does not matter to me at all. Why do I do this to myself? And so, we force being alone. Let no one in.
Bad, even if it hurts.
The moment we have a friend is a moment of opening ourselves up.
To get hurt.
If we let no one in,
Yes, you did. That's
nothing outside can hurt us. Everything inside is safe. You don't listen. You don't try. You blamed. You persisted. You accused. You isolated. And it is hard to explain. The gap in understanding can sometimes be too great.
Not really.
Figuring out the words to say to cushion the blow. Wishing it could be as easy as nice versus mean.
You could
But
just
isn't apology
explain.
enough? I find they don't mean much lately.
I'm so sorry.
Having someone write a letter or prepare a speech for you to hear, listen, or read do not have the same or as much impact as witnessing a change in action. What really, truly helps.
No.
What good is a verbal apology if you're just going to continue what you were doing and not understand the negative things you continue to do?
You made everything bad again.
I'm apologizing here, and you don't even try to listen. Try a bit harder.
You're telling me to try harder? Really? You're the one telling me to try harder?
I show my hesitation. So dimly, so vaguely, it allows lures to take hold and shape all decision. My wavering. That moment can be considered weakness, allowing others to pull you down. They see you for who you are and not what you show yourself as, and may try to topple you as a result. It's a terrifying thought, and I can't live that way anymore. I've reached a point where I can't do anything. Either my mind or body refuses to move even when I should. I thought I could be independent in a way that people around me did not have to worry or be responsible for me. A liability. I felt so unprofessional when others had to step in order for my job to be done, as I was in no position to step forward anymore. Instead of trying harder to do my job, I should try harder to find peace and stability to be able to live and also do my job. How can I make the load lighter? How can I repair? I suppose it will take time,
Need help.
but I find myself caught in a constant battle against time, priorities.
What?
Other people to think of.
More time.
I don't pay mind to myself, and I should.
Wait for me
But I'm
first.
scared of change. I've been told to never change. I notice people I met in the past, and sometimes have been friends with for years, change around
Is
me
this what you want
and
to
become
remember?
unrecognizable. I had a scary moment in my time when someone I held dear had a change in appearance for fun and experimentation, and I collapsed into a breakdown. It seems so superficial now, but I wonder about myself sometimes. Should I change? How do I go about doing that? Would I even like who I become? Do I really have control in any way, or is it natural, and I should stop asking myself so many questions? But I could see me putting myself into a box with everything else from the past that is outdated or does not need to be out, eventually becoming lost as it transfers out of retrievable short-term memory.
I'm still here. I can help. What about me?
You must accept your way.
But is that too drastic and
It's a path,
self-destructive?
and we need to set a clear goal. Together.
Please don't leave me here.
Yeah. It's like killing a part of yourself. Where's the evolution? But this is a video game. We need to wrap this shit up in the next 30 in-game minutes. Oh. You? Yeah, you wish it was as simple as what comes next. It is time to come to grips with ourselves.
See,
Thinking together. Stop fighting
where
ourselves.
I am.
Everything here is a stage, so we just need to act our
way.
way out. Is this lying to ourselves or those who try to help us? Make it just look like we're progressing?
Stay at
Is that really an exit? Or a side alley? Now that I see how everything works, I think there's nothing to fear. But isn't there a thrill in the unknown? Wouldn't it be uninteresting if you knew everything and were dead set in your current world? Okay. I need to stop for a moment here. There were a few ways I could have ended this video based on the conclusion of Shady Part of Me and my own personal challenges. I was considering an abrupt stop to the video entirely, or something really milquetoast or boring, saying I recommend this game. I felt so shaken by the conclusion to this narrative after having moments of deep emotional connection with me, that I put myself in a false sense of security that I could get something here. And all that really happened was me pushing back. Like, this is too easy. I'm angry that acting comes up for the end in order to reveal resolution. I can act. I don't want to act. I should not feel the need to act. Why can't I simply be? Because that doesn't look good in the big picture? Because you have to take your role? People like roles. They're easy to understand, connect with, and respond to. But no matter how many letters and messages I get of positive remarks I get for doing my job, serving my role, especially acting under extreme circumstances, I'm not satisfied. I'm tired. I'm wrecked. Maybe I'm in the shadows for a different reason. Maybe I've pushed myself too much. I've burnt out, being in the light, and seeing that push to return to the light upsets me. Because it is not that simple in reality to fix everything. I just need more time.